Andrei Jikh released a video last night with something extremely interesting happening at the end. Today we're going to be discussing what this could potentially mean, throw out some theories about what this could do moving forward. Let's get started. Welcome in everyone, my name is Andy and I appreciate you taking some time out of your day to come and watch this video on the channel. Before we get started, if you are enjoying the content and you'd like to see more in relation to cryptocurrencies, NFTs, and as we move forward to this new era in the world, then I'd love for you to be a subscriber of the channel. Andrei Jikh released a video last night talking about the market, but that is not just the only interesting part. It's also a great video, highly recommend going and check it out. But at the very end of the video, we saw something extremely interesting, and this was a sort of promotional thing when it comes to ECOMI. So let's see it. Now that was the clip that Wade found last night, which is insane that Andrei is working further when it comes to ECOMI themselves. Now we don't know exactly what this is, we have no idea what they're going to be announcing or releasing, but I think it's important to understand as a whole that this is very, very big. Andrei Jikh sits at around 1.78 million subscribers on YouTube. And that's not to say all the other influences he has with the people he knows and what he's actually working on himself. So this does bring in the theories about what this could be and maybe why he's done anything when it comes to ECOMI and Veve themselves. Within the clip we see small segments of the NFTs that we see in Veve, and at the end, the 3rd of December is when this is going to be announced. There's a few things that we could talk about here in regards to speculation, which we're going to talk about and get some theories out of the way and what it could potentially mean. But Logan Paul has also got an announcement that's coming on December the 3rd, and one of the other bigger ones that a lot of people are moving towards is that Pokemon are releasing a sort of trading card game on December the 3rd as well. But yes, of course, we could speculate that we have Pokemon and that it's coming on December 3rd, but in all honesty, I kind of hope it isn't. We've had a few issues over the past few months about the dates that have been given for certain things that are rolling out, as well as some foundational stuff that needs to be underway and continuously underway as we're going through this time. The likes of IMX, the MTL, as well as some of the other foundational stuff are going to come in so helpful, especially when we get to the bear market, which will come at some point in the future. Most of these companies are going to go to zero. We already know that's going to be a fact. By getting this foundational stuff out the way now, especially when times are really high, it's going to show that they are dedicated to making sure they get through this bear market when it does happen and lead out becoming number one once the next bull market and the bull cycle comes along. I'm not saying it's terrible that we've not got MTL or IMX or anything like that, because for the most part in what I've seen, they're still moving forward with it. Maybe just their times when they were giving them were a little bit off. The reason I don't want them to announce Pokemon just yet is because we've already had amazing catalysts that have been announced in the last month or so with Disney, USPS, and other amazing companies. So it doesn't really bother me if we don't get Pokemon right now. I know we probably have it, but there's no point of releasing it at a time when we're trying to work on other things to show that, hey, we're moving forward with the business as well as just the collectible side. But I understand there's a lot of contracts, I understand there's a lot of things behind the scenes that we have no idea about. For me, it probably is just speculation as a complete theory rather than anything else. Now, Foster, one of the amazing YouTubers in the Veve space, has made a tweet just trying to see what people are thinking when it comes to this. And someone actually mentioning the Pokemon card game coming out on December the 3rd, with Alex actually reminding us, should I crush your dreams now or should I let you sweat it out? I think that does mean we're not announcing Pokemon right now, which I am actually quite happy with. I honestly reckon we have it, but it's one of those things that I'm hoping we get. Once the migration's happened, once we get on more exchanges, more people can get in, and they can really see what OMI of this true catalyst is going to be in the NFT space. What could it be then? What are some of the things that we're maybe speculating and maybe that we have? Well, back when Gary Vee actually talked about Veve with Dan and not really understanding what it was, Andrei Jikh tweeted at him saying that he would love to talk and have a chat with him. Maybe we're going to have something on December the 3rd where they're going to get in a call together, they're going to talk about Veve and ECOMI and spread a little bit more awareness for what it is. Also, another speculative point is that Andrei could be partnering up with Veve and ECOMI to become a sort of ambassador for Veve themselves. They have some of the biggest brands in the world. Andrei Jikh's one of the biggest financial YouTubers in this space and has a lot of influence with what he does. So with someone like him backing the team and helping the team move forward for what consumers want rather than just on the business front, it's going to be a great way to understand how they can move forward within this sort of reach of social media influence and more. One of the things that really does drive a lot of volume nowadays is social media influence. They can get paid a lot of money for the influence that they have in shouting out different companies. And I'm not saying that Andrei himself is just going to be solely shouting out ECOMI for the sake of being paid, but It's going to be a good way in order for other people to trust ECOMI and trust Veve in themselves and what they are as a company, especially when a lot of people are still very scared in this space, don't really understand what it is, and also think it's a complete scam and people are just wasting their money. This way, people will be able to educate themselves a little bit further through ECOMI and Veve, because they do have the most trusted brands in the world, the most trusted companies in the world, and this could be a fantastic sort of route in to another set of individuals and another set of people who already consume Andrei's content and content creators' content, but also want to get into this new space that we're arriving in. The thing that makes people think about Pokemon so much within this is that at the end of the video, there's sort of like stars and circles and pentagons that come out from the ECOMI circle. And this is in relation to the cards, where different sort of rarities of them have these different shapes. Now, I completely understand if it was actually run by the ECOMI team and sent directly to Andrei for doing so, because that would mean everything is done for a sort of reason. You know, you don't have things in videos like that when they're run through companies and legalities and all that sort of stuff to not have a reason for specific things. Maybe they do. I just wouldn't think that's the case. I think a company like ECOMI and Veve want to sort of spice it up a little bit and make it speculative, make people think, make people talk, because the more people talk, the more business they get, the more advertising for free they get, which, I mean, I'm doing it right now. I'm making a video on something that's happened, so they're getting free advertisement from that. On the other hand, it could obviously be an external video that Andrei done himself or paid for himself, where Zach actually talked about this in his video, where it could be external, where they're paying for it and it's not actually from the company. It all depends on the sort of relationship that Andrei has with them, whether he's signed contract, whether Veve are sending these videos out to him. But when you have something that is only in the frames for a few seconds, often it's not really random. You know, there's a reason for things that happen. There's a reason that certain things were chosen. And there's a reason that the date was chosen. You know, everything has a reason for it if it's working in partnership with the company. So to me, my best guess is that Andrei is working with ECOMI in some way, shape or form. You know, he bought them way back when it was at his all-time high and has held ever since, and has now been getting back into it, already making a video on it discussing what ECOMI and Veve have moved forward with in that time frame. He's been interacting with some of the people in the community and also been getting to know what Veve is itself. So it wouldn't surprise me if a partnership was lined up. Now with Logan Paul, I'm not actually sure what he's thinking on that front and if their announcement is the same or it's just a complete coincidence. But I know that they both do know what Veve and ECOMI are, potentially have talked with them multiple times. My guess is that we're going to either get some form of announcement in regards to a partnership with them, or they're going to be discussing something together where the community can get involved. But I guess we'll only find out as it goes forward. I just wanted to keep you all updated, as I know when you're in this thing and you're sort of new to all this space, it's always interesting to find out the little details that happen here and around the community without you having to go and deep dive into everything and find it. Because I love doing this so much and I love spreading that information, I'm hoping it can give you a little bit more insight to what Veve are actually doing and what they're maybe looking at when it comes to partnerships, influencers they're looking at or talking with. Because Andrei Jikh is a very credible source and honestly an incredible content creator in himself. There's a lot of inspiration that many people will take from him. I'd absolutely love for him to represent Veve and ECOMI itself. But what do you think about this? Do you think it's been blown way out of proportion, or do you think there's some credibility to what's been said? I'd love for you to chat in the comments with me and we can discuss it further. I know the video on the screen right now will be something you'll love to watch. Have a fantastic day.